camera is recording. Recently, I saw the movie Glass, and I wanted to talk about it with you all. Just beforehand, a lot of spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie yet, I'd kind of recommend that you go see it. And come back. If you don't care about that, then just listen to me talk about it and spoil it. Also, if you hated the movie, that's fine. If you love the movie, that's fine. This is all my opinion. I'm kind of like in the middle, where it's like a love-hate relationship, I think. But yeah, just letting you all know about that, and we will get started with the review. Now, the first thing I wanted to talk about is that M. Night Shyamalan directed it. He's also in it, which I thought was kind of funny. I know M. Night Shyamalan is infamous for making pretty bad and weird films after The Sixth Sense, like The Last Airbender, After Earth, The Happening, just The Visit even. It's just films like that. He's gone downhill, but I know it's like a comedic thing to go see his movies to see what craziness he does next. Personally, I didn't really think about it because I thought about it from seeing Split. I really like Split because of James McAvoy's performance in that movie, so I wanted to go see Glass to see the continuation of it. I haven't seen Unbreakable. It was something that I was planning to go see. I know after I watched Split, they were like, oh, this is the sequel of Unbreakable. I just never got around to it. Next, I'm going to talk about the story. So, I don't think it's that exciting towards the end, because the end is like a build-up, and then the ending I think is really stupid, so I'm just going to go throughout the story that I remember, and then go from there. The guy from Unbreakable, I'm just going to call him Stone, because I totally forgot what his name was. So, Stone is going for a walk, and he sees these two guys that Superman punched someone in the face. They video record it and they run away. Stone goes in there and beats them up, and then leaves. And then it has like a police report saying he's back at it again. And then the son and Stone's son and Stone talk to each other, and they're like, maybe you shouldn't go on a walk again. And he's like, well, maybe I should, because I help people. And he's like, well, maybe you shouldn't. And they have that conversation, and then Stone goes home and imagines his dead wife. Stone goes back to the store. M. Night Shyamalan is in the store with Stone's son looking at cameras. Stone and Stone's son get into an argument about the walks, and then M. Night just steps in and is like, dude, just let your dad go for a walk. It's not that big of a deal. And he just leaves, and then Stone's son's like, okay, let's pay for these cameras and we'll close up early. He walks through a bunch of people, touching them to see like, oh, are they the bad guy? So I know he's supposed to be in this area. He's like at a place where there's a bunch of hardware, like facilities where they make stuff. And then he sees Hedwig walking down the street, listening to music, and he bumps into him. He gets this feeling and turns around and looks at Hedwig. Hedwig then kicks a garbage door and then keeps walking. And he's like, I know, I'm going to go after him and follow him and where he is. He's like, he's got red clay on his pants, which means like he's surrounded by red clay. Like, which buildings have that? And then he figures out, oh, this building is abandoned, and that's probably where the girls are. I forgot to mention that James McAvoy's character, Kevin, kidnapped a bunch of 3 girls, 3 cheerleaders. He finds the girls, he, rips the bars that they're tied to. They start running, then the Beast comes in, they fight, and then the Beast ends up throwing a table at one of the girls because they're trying to run away, and she gets hit by the table. They continue running, all the cheerleaders are out, and they fight. Stone and the Beast, they end up going out a window, and then they get arrested. They have these big white light things that get shown out, and the Beast is reverted back to Kevin, or whichever personality was there at the time. They have the doctor comes up and he's like, okay, you guys, it's okay, because the Beast isn't here anymore. The person you see Kevin being is a safe person that won't really do anything. And then they both get arrested and get sent to the psychiatric facility. The Stone's son starts freaking out that his dad got arrested and he's trying to figure out a way to get them out. Then they get stuck in their different cells. Kevin's cell has a bunch of lights in it because, like, flash therapy, like, if they show him bright lights at him, then he turns back into a different personality. A different personality takes over the light, as they say. So if the Beast or someone that's trying to ram the door open, they keep being flashed until it gets to a personality that won't do that. And Stone's cell, he ends up being in a cell where if he steps over a line, it fills up with a 50-gallon tank of water, because they're saying that water is his weakness because he was drowned as a kid. And then the doctor throughout this time is trying to get, she focuses on people who are delusional and believe they are superheroes. And I find it so annoying how often she says comic book. It ends up getting really grating, because just hearing comic book, you think you're in a comic book, you think the world is a comic book. This world isn't a comic book. You're just being an idiot thinking that you're a comic book character. Do you really think you're from a comic book? I mean, just stop. I mean, even other characters, like, join in. It's like Glass, a character that I'll just talk about in a little bit. It's like the main character that's supposed to be introduced in this. It's like, I am in a comic book, I know everything about comic books, and it's like, just stop saying comic book. I'm sorry, it's just like, that word gets so grating throughout the whole movie. Then, like, she says she has 3 days to do it, and on the, like, third-ish day, she has her evaluation, and Glass, Stone, and Kevin all go into the same room together. They're just sitting in chairs, and then Glass is totally immobile. He doesn't talk, he doesn't really move, he just acts like immobile because he's supposed to be put under sedation. So they're all in there. The doctor's like, well, Kevin, you have so many of these personalities, but the Beast isn't real. We noticed that in the place you used to live in at the zoo, that you watched a lot of rock climbing videos, so it's possible that you just learned from that how to climb walls, because those people are so skilled, and the Beast is not as strong as you think. You really need to stop believing in that, and it'll make you a better and safer person that's able to live in society. Then she talks to Stone, and she's like, well, maybe you think this because you're the only person that survived this train crash, and now you think you're really strong. There's reasons why you think this way, and there's reasons why you think you're a superhero, because you survived like this, and I think you should really not believe this. This is really dumb for you to think that you're super strong. And then she doesn't even talk to Glass. To be honest, I don't even know why Glass is even there. It's really for the sake of the audience, I think, just to see him there and see him not react in any way. And then they all go back to their cells. Stone and Kevin's are, like, talking to each other, or they're thinking in their cells, sorry, about, like, is this really true? And then, I know Kevin's character, there's Patricia, I forget the other ones, but there's, like, there's one that's really likes clean clothes, that I can't remember his name, and they're kind of talking back and forth, especially Patricia is talking, like, really, I'm having doubt now, and the Beast, is what she's saying true? And the Horde, like, the part of the Horde that believes that the Beast is real and that he's the solution to all things. About Kevin, he gets talked to by the girl that survives in Split. Also forget what her name is, but she comes over there when she finds out that Kevin is in the psychiatric facility, and she's like to the doctor, can I talk to him? Is this like, I want to talk to him. No, why not? And then the doctor's like, fine, go talk to him. I felt like that was really dumb, too. It's like that, she was not broken down easily, the doctor. She was easily manipulated into letting that girl go see Kevin. And then the doctor realizes, oh, they have a really strong connection. You're the cure to Kevin's illness, sort of, because you show him love, and that's not what he never received love as a kid because his mother abused him out, and his dad died trying to get help. But then, yeah. So the doctor was like, hey, could you actually come back because you were very helpful? And then she's just like, nah. Glass and Kevin, they meet. Glass is like fidgeting with everything. He goes over to Kevin's cell and is like, hey, I can get you out of here if you help me. You are a superhero. You need to believe in yourself. The doctor's just lying to you. You know deep down that what she's saying is a lie and that you really are a superhero. We'll leave tomorrow night and find out from there how to go and be supervillains, because he's like, oh, supervillains are teaming up now. And then the reason he's called Glass is because he has like fragile bones, so like if you touch him, then his bones instantly break. Then the next big part is Stone being like, oh, I'm just a baby, I can't do anything, I'm not really a superhero. And then Glass and Kevin escape, and they go through the basement, and they get caught, and the doctor's like, oh, they were stupid going through the basement, so now we have time to capture them and get the police here. So Kevin turns into the Beast, and the Beast starts killing all the guards that are in the basement. Glass just keeps rolling along. They go to the personal items place, and Glass is wearing his purple suit, which I think throughout all this time would not fit, but he's wearing it anyway. And Kevin is just wearing those pants, and he's wearing a nurse's gown over it so that people would think he's just wheeling Mr. Glass out of the facility. And everyone that's important shows up. Stone's son, Mr. Glass's mom, the girl that likes Kevin, they all show up, and they're it's really weird because they all show up, but they don't know that Glass and the Beast escaped. They're just like all staring at each other like, oh, we're all here at the same time. What a coincidence. Then Stone ends up getting his confidence back and punches the door open because Glass is like, hey, if you don't open that door, all these people that are looking at this building are gonna die. They're in Philly, I think, and there's this new building that's being constructed that's supposed to open, and thousands of people are down there to see the building open for its architectural excellence. And he's like, we're gonna go down there and disrupt all the chemicals in that building and make it blow up and kill all those people. So Stone breaks the door down, he runs, he gets his stuff, he gets the cloak, and then he goes outside, sees Glass and the Beast, and then they start fighting. Stone's son's like, there's something that Glass hasn't told you, Beast. And then Glass is like, no, don't tell him yet. And then it turns out that the reason why Kevin's dad never came back was because he was on the same train that Stone was on, and he died trying to get his son help from getting away from his abusive mom. And it's like, okay. And then Glass is like, he's just loving himself, really. He's like, I am just so wonderful. I create superheroes. I am truly a genius. But then he just gets crushed to death by the Beast, because the Beast is like, I was made to protect Kevin, and you betrayed me, and I'm going to kill you. So we gave him a nice little big old hug and crushed him, and now he's just laying on the pavement, slowly dying. And his mom comes over, and she's like, "Oh, you were in an accident," and he's like, "No, I wasn't in an accident. That was great." And it's like he's bleeding. There's all this stuff going on. He goes over to the girl, and the girl's like, "Don't do this. You're a good person, Kevin." And then she keeps saying his name, Kevin Wendell Crump, Kevin Wendell Crump, Kevin Wendell Crump. Kevin comes back, then he gets shot in the stomach, and then he ends up dying, and she's really sad about it. Not really, she doesn't really cry or anything. She's just like, "Yeah, you're gonna die now, I'm sorry." A bunch of people you think are cops drown him in the very convenient pothole that I talked about earlier, and he ends up drowning and being dead. Now we find out, which I really think this is like some higher level, really dumb thing, that the doctor and all those cops that came over are all part of a secret organization. They're part of a secret organization that's marked by a clover tattoo on their wrist, and they're supposed to be a group of individuals that make sure superheroes don't exist. It's not fair that superheroes like you exist. Like, you just gotta get rid of you. If you don't think you're not superheroes, then you leave us with no choice than to kill you. That ends. She goes to her meeting with the secret organization, and she's like, "I killed them. It's totally good because no one's gonna see it. I deleted all the camera footage." Glass's mom, Stone's son, and the girl that Kevin liked are all get emails from Glass from the past saying, "Hey, this was my plan all along." He sent a link to a private website where he streamed the entire fight to have proof that superheroes exist, and the three of them come together and like, "Should we post this? We can change the world with this." So they end up posting it, and they go sit in a train station waiting for everyone to just be flabbergasted and see this new footage that has been released about superheroes being real. And the movie pretty much ends with that. So, what did I think of it? I thought the organization was dumb. That was probably the biggest thing. I thought Glass being caught when meeting Kevin's character was dumb. Because they showed the camera footage of him like, "Oh, we saw you on the cameras, so you have to be brought to your cell and do the procedure early." And it's just him being caught is him doing literal circles to be caught. And I'm like, really? That's not suspicious at all? I mean, that's why she wanted to do the procedure, but it's like, really, you couldn't think there was a bigger thing that he was planning than just moving around and checking out things or stealing pills? It's like, you gotta think. It's like, no wonder Glass is going to be the most intelligent person in the movie if everyone else is an idiot. There's only one shot I really remember where the shot is looking at the person that shot Kevin, and then it tilts and pans downward to the doctor in relief. And I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. And then other than that, I thought really none of the shots were inspired in any way. Samuel L. Jackson's character, for what he was doing, kind of reminds me, like not entirely, but kind of reminds me of the character he did in Kingsman, Secret Service. It's like kind of goofy, nerdy. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, and I think it works. It's just I personally didn't like it. He wasn't really present throughout most of the movie because he was pretending that he was sedated, and then at the end he was just this crazy person that believed that comic books were real. And then James McAvoy's performance I thought was very good. I liked him in Split. So I really appreciated how he did even more of that in this movie. Since the light kept flashing at him, it forced more personalities to come out that didn't come out organically in the previous movie. So you had like Jade, and there was like this Irish guy, there was this English guy that really liked art, and seeing all those different characters and how he made them all unique was very interesting. Because in the movie Split, it was only shown in video logs how many personalities there were, and there weren't even that many shown. So I thought that was very interesting. I thought the way he did that was very good. It was so fun to see him play a immortal 9-year-old, liking like modern music and dancing and bragging that he has a girlfriend and that they kissed and things. I thought that was so fun just watching him. Bruce Willis, I'm sorry if that's the wrong actor, but his character, I just didn't think there was that much that he was given to do, so I don't think it's his fault, but I did not really like his character that much. And then I know the girl that Kevin is supposed to like in the movie and is supposed to be Hedwig's girlfriend. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name. But I also thought she wasn't that great. I know she could be a good actress. I've seen her in other things where she's a good actress. She just wasn't given very much to do. And then Bruce Willis's son, thought was alright. I thought Glass's mother was alright. She was an interesting character because even though her son did so many different horrible things, she still loved him and thought he was a miracle and thought he was really a genius and brilliant and loved him. What you think in seeing some other movies, they're like, if your son does something really bad or their son does something really bad, they're like, oh my gosh, I will never love you ever again, you deserve to be in prison. And it's like, the mother can still think that he deserves to be in prison, but she still shows the compassion and love that she has for her son, which I think is really, really special. And overall, this was like a middle movie for me. I give this like a 5-6 out of 10. If you liked Split, I think you'll like this movie too. Since I like both, I think that's a reasonable assessment to make. If you did not see Split or Unbreakable and you're just going into this third movie completely fresh, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing either. With that, even though I didn't see Unbreakable, the movie made a lot of sense and they ended up reiterating a lot of things, which I think makes sense for a theatrical release considering that Unbreakable came out a while ago and Split kind of did too. If James McAvoy wasn't in this movie, I probably wouldn't have liked it as much just because his performance is so great. And yeah, that's pretty much all I'm going to say about this movie. So if you like this video and you want me to do something else like this, then I guess either leave a like or let me know in the comments. I post a video every Thursday, or at least I try to. So if you ever need something to watch during that time, just come over here and see what I got going on. I'm always got something interesting, something else that I'm doing. So anyway, I'll see you guys later.